everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina. Just making a quick winter time card today using the Winter Frolic Cricut cartridge. And I cut out this little snowman and I cut him out at, I'm thinking it's 3.5 inches, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm just bringing in my craft pad here, or craft mat, so I can do my glue and not worry about getting anything on my cutting mat. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting this together. And I'm going to start by doing my bottom layer, which will be my snowman himself, and I'm just going to use my Tombow glue to put this down, which is running low, so hopefully we'll be able to get through this without running out. So I'm just going to line this up and put him right on the front of my cutout here. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and put his little earmuffs on. So let me just get my tweezers, and these are Tweezer Bee tweezers. We're going to go ahead and start assembling our card. I cut a base of my card, which is 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it at 5 1/2, so that's the base of my card. And then I cut a mat for my card, and this is this one's called Spring Rain, Paper Tray Ink Spring Rain. This one is Enchanted Evening, and this one is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I cut a piece of the pattern cardstock, and this is from the Bo Bunny Midnight Frost collection. This is the 6x6 pad. I love this paper. So wintry. I just love the colors. Okay, so let me just go ahead and we'll start assembling our card. So this is my next layer, my pattern paper, and this one measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then I cut another piece of the pattern paper, and I love these snowflakes. This is cut at 3 3/4 by 3 inches. So we're just going to go ahead and put this together, and I think I'm going to do it this way. So the stripe is on the top and the snowflakes are on the bottom. So let me just go ahead and start adhering this down. I'm just going to use my ATG gun. So just put that layer on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and layer this onto my Enchanted Evening cardstock. So I'm just going to layer this right into the center of this. Go. And then I'm going to use a piece of the Enchanted Evening Paper Tray Ink satin ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a little knot on here. go. And I'll just use my scissors to trim this down a little bit. Okay, so I just wanted, before I adhere my card down, or the front of my card onto the base of my card, I just want to see where I'm going to put my little snowman. And I think I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Just like that. And then I can put my snowman right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and adhere this down to the base of my card. And I'm just going to center this right on the front. There we go. And we'll go ahead and add our snowman. And I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensional adhesive. We're just going to center that right here. Okay, so that's our snowman, and what I'm going to do now is, I have this really great paper tray ink set called On Ice, and it has this cute sentiment in here that says snowy greetings, so I'm just going to use that, and then I'm going to use my Enchanted Evening paper tray ink. So I just want to get this going in the right direction. And I'm just going to use a piece of this white textured basil cardstock. Alright. And then I'm going to use, and I love, this is the word window punch from Stampin' Up! I'm not even sure if they still have this or not, but I love this punch. I use it all the time. So I'm just centering that in the window, and I'm just going to punch out my sentiment. And then I also have the Modern Label Punch, and I'm going to use that with a piece of the Enchanted Evening. And then I'll go ahead and adhere that on there, and I'll just use my mono adhesive to adhere that down. Oops. Not quite straight. Alright, there we go. And then let's see if I can find my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, which seem to have gone missing in action. Well, I was going to pop this up, but I'll just put it right down with my snail adhesive. And I'm just going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to put that right up in the top here. And the last thing I'm going to do is I have some of these Kaiser Crafts pearls, and let's see if this has a color. I don't see, oh, it's called Denim. That's the color of these. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere a couple of these onto the snowflakes. Probably should use my tweezers, probably be easier if I did it that way. You know, I'm not going to put them on the snowflakes. I think I'm going to use my tweezers, and I'm going to set them right on the edges of the Modern Label here. Okay, so there we go. That's our card for today. Thanks for watching another episode of Creations with Christina. See you next time. Bye!